Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. Here today to do a review on the locked-on game camera security box. This is, as the name suggests, a security box that you're going to be able to put your trail camera in. We're going to do some close-ups here and show you a little bit about this thing, and then we're going to take it over and we're going to actually install it to a tree and put a trail camera on it. So, really cool feature to start out. You can see this is a steel construction. The front and the back are both powder coated black. This is very, very thick. That's probably 3/16 steel. So very thick construction. Everything on it is welded in really good and securely built. You can see the welds on there. That is a very good weld, and this is a very secure box. So some of the features on this thing that we're going to show you is this has a curved back on the curved radius on the back. So this is going to hook up to about a 12-inch tree. So it's got a nice curved radius on there, so when you put this on a tree, it's going to kind of contour to the tree. It also has, and I think these are very cool, it says, gives you a warning here, spinners are very sharp, so be careful when you're handling these. Right here where your lag bolts are going to go through to secure this to the tree, which we're going to show you later, this actually has spinners on there. Now you can see that spinning or not. And that way, if you try to come in here with some kind of saw, and you do happen to get that saw in between the box and the tree, which I think is going to be pretty hard, which we're actually going to try later, instead of cutting, that's just going to sit there and spin. So it's not going to allow a saw to bite. It's actually just going to sit there and spin. Again, on the bottom, here's our security. Our blocker on the back is bolted in. And here's where our lag bolts are going to go to secure it to the tree. Now the lag bolts are nice long lag bolts. So we've got 5 lag bolts here that have a 5/16 head. They're just going to slide right through there. You're going to use an impact and you're going to secure that to the tree. Now your front has got a really cool security feature to it. It's got these 2 pins right here. So that's going to lock into the 2 holes right here in this top location. So on your front here, you're going to get a couple of different deals. You're going to have this right here, and this is going to secure right to your front here with a couple of wing nuts that I've got in the bag. And you're going to secure that in there, and you're going to use this to secure your trail camera into the box. Now this works with a bunch of different trail cameras. You've got a couple of different spacers here. You've got the original one here, and then you've got a couple to change to out for different trail cameras. You also have, which I think is pretty cool, this little black void filler right here, because I got a trail camera that'll work with this just like this, but it's just a little bit too low, so I can actually slide that right in there just like that, and I can actually raise the trail camera up a little bit. So we're going to show you all that here in a little bit. So those are some of the features of this thing. Now this is going to work with quite a few cameras. I've only got one that's actually on this list, but I've got a couple others that this is actually going to work with. So on your list here, you're going to have the Bushnell Trophy Cam HD Aggressor. That's what I've got that actually is going to work with this. It's also going to work with the Bushnell Trophy Cam HD Essential, Browning Trail Camera Recon Force, Browning Trail Camera Strike Force, the Kodiak Digital Ambush, Kodiak Digital Black Flash, Kodiak Digital Long Range IR, Moultrie A20, Moultrie M88, Moultrie M990, I Generation 2, Primo's Easy Cam, Primo Proof Cam, 03 Blackout, Stealth Cam G34, Stealth Cam G45 NG Pro, Wild Game Innovations Act 6, Wild Game Innovations Cloak 5 Lights Out, Wild Game Innovations Cloak 8 Trail Pad, Wild Game Innovations Nano 12, Wild Game Innovations Razor X8. So those are the trail cameras that are suggested to work with. But like I said, I've actually got a trail camera that is not on this list that it's going to work with just fine. I actually have 2. So here's how we're going to go ahead and grab my camera, and we're going to install it here just to show you how to install this thing. So before you install this trail camera, you're going to have to choose the appropriate opening for your trail camera. This is the Aggressor from Bushnell, and you can see this is what you want to look for. My flash is open, my sensors are open, my lens, my camera is open, so everything right there is going to be accessible, and that one's going to work just like it is. Now if I go to something different, like say this Moultrie camera, and put it in there, it's actually going to be okay in there too, because I can see my flash, my sensor, my lens, everything in there is going to work just fine. Now I got this other camera here. This is a Japanese or a Chinese camera. It's a Tech Bean, good little camera, but as you can see, it's just too small, and I can actually get it out of, almost get it out of the opening. If I wanted to, I could probably work on it and get it out of the opening, and it sits down just a little bit too low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these that comes with this box. I'm actually going to check it for fit. That one right there is going to work just fine. So when we put this in here, we're going to install this right there in front. Put our camera in there and probably put our void filler in there as well to raise this thing up. And so we got that in there. We got our plate, we got our camera, we got our void filler, and on the back we're going to put this piece right here, and it's just going to slide right there under that. We're going to take in our bag of goodies that come with the camera. We're going to dump this out. We're going to take our wing nuts and our washers, and we are just going to install that right there just by that silver plate is threaded. So we're going to put that in there just like that. If I can get it to start. It's kind of hard with this camera in the way. Just like that. I'm going to tighten that thing up. The same thing on the other side. And once we've done that, I'm going to flip it back over, and I'm going to do a little bit of adjustment here just to get everything back to where it needs to be. You can see, like I said, this camera is not designed for this box, but it'll work out just fine because I've got my lens, I've got my sensor, I've got my everything else here. I've got my flash. This has got a infrared flash on it, so I'll probably just slide it over just a little bit, and it's going to work out just fine. So if you have a trail camera that's not on the list, or a trail camera that is on the list but it doesn't quite match up to this, you can use these templates in here and actually just put that up and fit it up just like that. And again, show you the back side again just in case I didn't show it before. We got our plate in the front that adjusts the size of the opening. We got our camera in there. We got our void filler, and then we got our back plate, and we got it screwed on with just a couple of wing nuts that came with it. So we're going to take this over and we're going to put it on a tree, show you how to do that, and then we're going to put this together and lock it up. And we're going to try to break into this thing, see if we can get this camera stolen. Okay, installation on this thing is going to be fairly easy. What you're going to need is you're going to need an impact with a nut driver, and you're going to need a 5/16 socket on there. Now it says 12-inch tube, and you can see this one obviously is bigger around than 12-inch, but with that radius on the back, it's going to fit up there just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the one in the center, put that one in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my other four. Now, after you go back, I ran into this problem earlier and I figured it out, so I just wanted to throw this out there. After you tighten up these four, this one's going to have a little bit of space in it. When you try to put that on there, the camera will hit it. So you're going to need to go back and tighten that one up. Make sure that all of them are in there as tight as they possibly can be. So now that you've got that done, you're going to take your camera, and you already got your camera installed, and you've got this loop right here on the bottom. You've got two holes there on top, and you've got two pegs right here. So we're going to put that in there just like that. We're going to lift it up, and we're going to slide it right down into those holes. Okay, so I had a little trouble putting this thing on there, and I could not figure out what was going on. My camera, it would slide down in here, but it would not go down into these holes, and I couldn't figure out what it was. This camera here is just a little bit bigger, I guess, or for some reason I seen that it's hitting right back here. So I had to remove that bolt right there. I did not have to do this on the trophy cam that I used. So that's how you're going to put it together. You're going to see it's going to lock in nice and secure there. And this is going to come with this nice round lock. So it's going to come with two keys as well. You just got to put that up in there. Find the steel. And you got this thing locked and you're ready to go. Now, before you put that in there and get it all secured in, you're going to want to turn this camera on. This camera's not on, but for me, it's not a big deal. And the reason I'm not using my Bushnell camera in this, and why I'm using this other camera that's just a little bit cheaper, is we're going to be putting this thing to the test here and see what we can do with it. I really don't want to tear up my Bushnell camera. So, got just a simple claw hammer, nice lightweight hammer. It's nothing big, it's not a sledgehammer or anything like that. Yeah, you're not going to break into it with a hammer. You may be able to do some damage to it, but you're not going to break into it with a hammer. Now, the other thing I got is a set of bolt cutters. And I don't think there's any way to get those bolt cut out. It's got a blocker on the back here, so you cannot get the bolt cutters up in there to cut that. And you're not going to cut this steel with bolt cutters. So, at least not with these bolt cutters. The other alternative is some kind of power cutter, which I've got my Sawzall here. And the only way you're going to get that Sawzall in there is to cut into the tree and down. And who's going to be carrying a Sawzall into the woods with them, I don't know. But just getting a blade in there is going to be tough. And if you do get a blade in there, you're going to hit those spinners anyway. So, shouldn't be able to get it off with a saw. And honestly, I tell you what, if you want to spend that much effort just doing it with it for a few minutes, I'm wore out. Of course, I'm kind of fat, but if you want to spend that kind of effort to get into this thing, you're not your typical crook, because most crooks are pretty damn lazy. So it's going to be pretty much resistant to being stolen. Now, there are some drawbacks to this thing. It is a little bit heavy, and like I said, it is a little bit, I had to remove that one lag bolt from the center. So other than that, it works with a bunch of different cameras. This is a camera that's not even on the list, and it works just fine with it. Works really good with my Aggressor camera from Bushnell, which is about a $250 to $300 camera, so really nice to have security on that. The other drawback that I found to it is you're probably not going to be able to use this on public land, because you have to bolt it to the tree. In most places, at least here in Missouri, you can't bolt anything to the tree. You can't put a screw step into the tree. You can't put anything into the tree that's going to damage it. So probably not going to be able to use this on public land. But I see the advantages of it quite a bit, because we have a piece of property that's right near the highway, and people go down there, it's on the river, and people go down there and fish all the time. And we use our cheap cameras out there because we're afraid you're going to get stolen. And we don't want to be out a $250 to $300 camera. We don't mind being out a $40, $50 camera, which we don't want to be out of that. But this is going to keep your $250 to $300 camera from being stolen. So that's a huge, huge advantage to it. The other thing is just the loss of information, because you know, you go out, you put this trail camera out for a week, 2 weeks, stuff like that, and you come back to check it and it's gone. Well, you lost your camera, but you also lost all the information that it was gathering for you during that time period, so that sucks too. So the other good thing about this thing is there's going to be security around your home. So if you want to set up a trail camera around your home, you got some suspicious activity happening, you know, and someone's stealing stuff out of your garage or around your house when you're not home, stuff like that, you can set this up and people will be able to identify what this is. They'll know there's a trail camera there. Someone's stealing your Trump sign like they did mine. You can put this up and you can catch them when they won't be able to do anything to your trail camera. Now, they might be able to get in there and destroy it. You know, you can probably take a screwdriver there and destroy the camera if you wanted to, if you really want to be a butt. But as far as stealing the thing, they're not going to steal it, and you're probably going to still be intact enough to get some data off of it, so you're going to be able to get pictures of them as they destroy it. So far, like I said, it does have a couple disadvantages to it. It's big and it's heavy, but the advantages outweigh the disadvantages by quite a bit. It's a hell of a sturdy box. I mean, I beat the crap out of it with the hammer, and I messed up a little bit of powder coat, but that's about it. And I really didn't mess the powder coat up that much. Good welds on it, good solid steel on here, and when it locks up, man, you're not getting that lock off there, and the good lag bolts on the back. You're not going to be able to cut those by hand, and with the roller system on the back too, it's going to allow your saw, no saw is going to bite into that. So they're really, really going to have to work if they want to steal your trail camera with this locked on game camera security box around it. So definitely check this thing out. Quality product. Really am impressed with how well made this thing is and the amount of security you're going to get. So give me the advantage of being able to put my Bushnell camera out on some property that I was never able to put it out before and not have to worry about the thing getting stolen. So I really liked that. Now I can actually do some scouting out there and get some good pictures on it. So be sure to check this out. We'll put a link in the description below, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. That really helps us out when you guys do that. And be sure to check out all our videos. They're available on IkesOutdoors.com, and you can check us out on Facebook under Ikes Outdoors. Appreciate you guys.